test your might. Boom, 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 boom. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Bullock, and welcome to the Bully Basement. Today, I'm reviewing Mortal Kombat, the reboot. Does it hold up to the nostalgia of the very, very first Mortal Kombat? We're not going to acknowledge the rest of those Mortal Kombats, just the very first one. Does it hold up? Or should they just left this one alone? I don't know. We'll see. So, Mortal Kombat. If you've been living underneath a rock and you don't know what Mortal Kombat is, it is a video game. It is a very violent, bloody video game, a fight style video game where all the fight champions from different realms. If you don't know what a realm is, just think of a multiverse. All these champions come from different realms and they come together to fight in what's called Mortal Kombat, pretty much to protect their realm. Let's get into it. It pretty much starts off with Scorpion chilling with his family, getting some water, and then Sub-Zero comes in and pretty much kills the family. That is where the movie starts. When it comes down to that, there was just a few questions I had about that scene. Like, for instance, she walks into the house and says, "Oh, it's so cold in here," giving the audience the indication that Sub-Zero is in there, but then he walks in. So my thought process was, why didn't she feel the cold before she stepped? I don't know. But there's a little something I picked up on. The very first fight scene between Scorpion and Sub-Zero, I felt was really well choreographed. I thought it got the emotion, I guess, that these two are enemies. Well, so one thing that was a little weird about that, and maybe I missed it, maybe y'all can help me out with this, but in the game, if I recall, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, their clans are lifelong rivals. They've been at it for, hundreds, maybe thousands of years. They hated each other. At one point in the movie, Scorpion stated to Sub-Zero, "It felt like that it was a mystery to Scorpion why this person was coming to kill him and his family." I don't know that. That was my take. All in all, though, I thought it was a good beginning. I like that they gave kind of like a origin of where his Hellblade came from. I did like that. We move into present day Earth. We go to a new character that we have not seen in the games before, and his name is Cole. If you ask my opinion of Cole is a straight up Toasty. I'm sorry to say that, but he is. It was hard to connect with Cole. The movie does like what some movies do. They give you this back. It's kind of like you get this indication that he's such a great fighter. Jax comes in, it's like, oh, you're champion, this and this, so forth. People have given this indication that he's a really, really good fighter. He has the Mortal Kombat mark, which we'll get on that a little later, but he has that Mortal Kombat mark saying that he's a great fighter and so forth. And he snivels. It's like, it's like, oh, we need you to be the fighter again. It's like, I don't know if I can do that. Cole just didn't really interest me as a new character. When it comes down to the acting in this, the acting is so-so. The acting, I feel like, is maybe a product of also the tone of the movie. The tone of the movie, it feels like they don't know if they want to be serious or comical at times. And I have to say this, I'm Team Scorpion all the way. Scorpion is my man. I love Scorpion, and I like Sub-Zero as a character in the Mortal Kombat. As a fan of the game, I like Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero is a very, very effective villain. He is. He did his thing. One thing that got me about Sub-Zero is he has that classic villain problem in this movie where he does not check to make sure that the people that he is sent to kill are actually dead. It happens twice. In this movie. You have crippled your opponent and you have been sent to kill these champions by your boss or master or whatever. You just walk away. So I want to talk about the CGI real quick in this. So the CGI in this is hit or miss for me. I like Sub-Zero's freezing abilities. I think every time his freezing abilities come on, they look good. The effects, they blend well and so forth. They're hit and miss depending on certain characters. Certain backgrounds definitely look like they're green screen or blue screen. It doesn't take you out, but it doesn't suck you into the world. I feel like when they go to like the other realms, there's certain shots that it's like, okay, I believe that this is another realm. And there are those certain shots where it kind of reminded me of the 1995 Mortal Kombat was like, wow, that looked like you cut and paste that over a background. It's not really convincing. Goro looked weird to me, like a cross between the orcs in World of Warcraft and the Hulk. It was weird. So I think that's going on in this movie is the birthmarks. Well, excuse me, the Mortal Kombat marks. I feel like it's a little fan service or a little bit too on the nose with the Mortal Kombat logo actually being the brand that chooses the fighter. To add, it seems like anybody can just get these marks. You don't have to be a skilled fighter. Let's say a good fighter breaks into my house. I shoot him and I kill him. The brand would come to me, and then I would be a chosen champion protector of the earth. The brand just, it's not like there is a spiritual or a universal selection, hardcore selection, where there's a deep inner thing that chooses these fighters. I don't know, it felt like a reverse game of Mortal Kombat tag, where you're it if you kill somebody. Like if you tag them, they're dead, you're it. Which leads to Kano. I like Kano to an extent. Kano was funny. I liked his interactions, but Kano started to feel a little bit like that comedian that just keeps hitting that punchline over, and it's like, hey, huh? It's too much of I'm arrogant, I don't give a da-da-da-da. We get it. The movie had to point it out, but it got a little old after a while. But Kano is I feel like the actor, the Kano character was a little bit more charismatic than the actor who was actually in the original Mortal Kombat. I can say the same thing a little bit for Sonya Blade. Again, when it comes down to their interactions, it's somewhat reminiscent of the interactions that was actually in the older Mortal Kombat, but it felt somewhat like a buddy cop type hateful relationship. Like they resent each other, but they know they have to partner together to, I guess, for the greater good, or for, whatever, to play the heroes. But it's obvious that they don't like each other, and all the verbal sparring and jabs that they do towards one another makes it apparent that they don't like each other. Compared to in the old Mortal Kombat, it was just like, I hate Kano, he killed my partner, and it was just, I don't know, it felt a little bit over the top. So I like this. I did like the interaction here. I would say that there is a moment. So some of the rules in this aren't, or some of the things they establish are not consistent. There's a scene in here where two people fight. They actually fight. One person actually asks for the fight. They fight. The other person defeats them easily. And then when they fight again later on, the person that defeated him easily severely struggled. And I didn't really understand that. So the movie's filled with the catchphrases that we all know. Fight, fatality, flawless victory. It's a little fan service. Sometimes it works, sometimes it really doesn't. But I gotta go back to my boy Jax. Jax is facing Sub-Zero, and he makes a statement, something along the lines of, I serve 6 tours, mother. And I was like, okay, were they in Asgard? Wakanda? Like, you're fighting someone that has superpowers and that you've never fought before. Like, unless you were deployed out of Hogwarts, or you always do your 6 tours was in Middle Earth. I think that doesn't really apply here when it comes to Sub-Zero. And again, the trailer shows how that ended. I guess Mortal Kombat to some degree is sexist against Earth women. Maybe this is a little teeny spoiler. I feel like when you see the movie and it's stated, you're already going to know what's going to end up happening because it's a character from the game. But in the movie, Sonya does not have the mark, which again goes back to the universe or the ether or whatever, the powers that be in the whole ether things. It just doesn't give a damn, because it's obvious that Sonya is a hellified fighter and a champion within this movie. But it's kind of like wow, the Earth realm entities or gods or whatever who choose these markings, they're kind of sexist, and I kind of got that little feel, because it was kind of, there are certain scenes where it's like, haha, go little woman, you don't have a mark. Yeah, we know, you know, Sonya from the movie already kind of sets up that Sonya is a badass. Now this Shang Tsung, I don't like at all. He's not menacing. It's more like a mustache twirling villain. I don't know. Really, they should have got what's his name? Kerry Hiroki Tagawa. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. Kerry Hiroki Tagawa. They should have got him back. That was the original Shang Tsung from the very first Mortal Kombat. He was menacing. He just had the right tone, everything. And then they got that same actor back to reprise Shang Tsung in the actual Mortal Kombat video game. Before you say, well, he's gotten older. Anybody who knows about Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung has been various different ages. So and really, from my understanding, from what I recall, when it comes down to Shang Tsung, that's how he stays a young looking through the souls that he possesses through these warriors, the souls he consumes. They should have treated it like a Mufasa situation, because I just kind of feel like no one else could have done Shang Tsung like him, except for an actor I'm about to mention, now referring to Raiden. When it comes to Raiden was hit and miss with me, and I'm sorry to say sometimes it was hard to understand Raiden. It was. An actor that I felt like that could have played Raiden or Shang Tsung, definitely would have been more menacing in the Shang Tsung character, is Ken Watanabe. We already kind of seen him when he was in Batman Begins, when he was the villain in that. He kind of already had that look, and he comes across as an actor that can come across calm and menacing. If I could rank this Shang Tsung, I would say that to me he felt like the Jafar from the live action Aladdin. And maybe that's an unfair comparison, but when you think of it, like when I think of Jafar from the cartoon Aladdin, he was menacing, he was charismatic, with a sprinkle of flamboyant. You know, yeah, they should have did Shang Tsung, either get back the original actor like you did for the video game, or get an actor who really was menacing. So when it comes down to the actual length of the movie, this movie is an hour and 50 something minutes, so just under 2 hours. And I hate to say that, I kind of felt all of that. It makes the assumption that some people don't know Mortal Kombat. So with that assumption, there's some setup when it comes down to lore, there's setup when it comes down to certain characters, you know, backstories, things like that. And at times it can really drag it. It's like, then they sprinkle little fights in, hoping that keeps your attention. But you know, the movie could have been cut down a little bit, I think, for better pacing. Piggybacking off of that, we don't get a lot of what you would expect in here. There's not a lot of fatalities. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the fatalities were lacking, except for there was one fatality from one character. I'm not gonna say which fatality, but I just would say I've seen it in the game, and it involves a hat, and yeah, that one was pretty brutal. But other than that, you see one fatality in the trailer with Liu Kang. You see a fatality with Sonya Blade, which that fatality was like, okay. And even how they shot it, the end of that fatality, it was like, okay, yeah, you shot it like the video game, how it was, but it was like, I guess. So what are my thoughts when it comes down to Mortal Kombat? It's not great, but it's not bad. Key things: the movie runs a little long, so it drags at certain little points. Acting is spotty. Tone of the movie doesn't really know what it wants to be. Does it want to be serious? Does it want to be comical? At times the comedy can disrupt the serious tone, or vice versa. So yeah, I would rate the movie C+, C, somewhere around there. C+. It's to me, all in all, average. But what do y'all think? Do you think the movie was good? Do you think it was bad? Do you think they need to just leave these video game movies alone and just be more original? Tell me what you think in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, I ask that you please subscribe, hit the like button, turn on notifications. If you enjoyed it, hey, I appreciate the support and the love. Thanks for checking out. Thanks for tuning in. God bless. Take care. Peace.